Summer break had barely begun when Jalen returned to Lincoln High to grab the last of his things. The school was quiet, eerily so. Lockers stood open like forgotten tombs, and the only sound was the distant buzz of fluorescent lights. Most students had already moved on. The news had slowed. The whispers around Laura Ramstead's death had faded. But Jalen? He couldn't let it go. He was never close to Laura, just a fellow senior, more observer than friend. But something about her death, how sudden it was, how silent the investigation became, had left a mark. And it only deepened when he opened his old locker and a yearbook slid out. Not his yearbook, someone else's. On the inside cover, tucked behind the memorial page for Laura, was a note, folded neatly, yellowed. The handwriting was jagged, rushed. It read, "You're next. He knows what you saw." At first he thought it was some leftover prank. The school had become obsessed with rumors since the graduation murders, urban legends layered on top of real horror. But this felt different. It felt unfinished. A second message was scrawled across the back. "Check the library. She's behind you." He didn't tell anyone. He didn't even hesitate. That same afternoon, Jalen made his way through the deserted school and into the far wing of the old library archives. Past the quiet reading tables, past the locked doors. No cameras, no windows, just dust and silence. He scanned shelf after shelf until something caught his eye. A piece of tape on the back of a wooden bookcase. Behind a row of ancient encyclopedias was a small, unmarked envelope. Inside was a second note, this one water-damaged but legible. "You weren't supposed to see that. Tell anyone, and you'll join her." Laura had received this note before her final race, before she collapsed, before Diane drowned, before Kyle's accident, and before Steve was found in the gym. Jalen's pulse pounded in his ears. He wasn't imagining it. Laura was being threatened. And if this note had gone unfound until now, who else had received one? He spent hours digging. Through the archive room, through old yearbooks, through library sign-in sheets, names repeated. But one set of initials stood out, DM. They appeared again and again, logged at strange hours, after dark, before school, always during times when the school was empty, and then something even stranger. One of the signatures had no student ID. Jalen cross-checked the name with the class roster. Nothing, no photo, no attendance record. It was like this person had never officially existed. That's when the phone calls started. First, it was a number with no ID. Then a static voicemail, just breathing. Then the whisper, "Stop reading." But he didn't. And that's how he found the journal. Hidden behind a row of dictionaries, deep in the back shelves of the library, was a hollowed-out book. Inside, Laura Ramstead's private journal. Not the one the police used. Not the one cleaned up by her parents. This one was raw, torn, scribbled with red ink, corners burned and pages curled. She'd been scared. She wrote about someone watching her during practice. A face at the library window. A drawer she never opened being unlocked. She suspected someone on the team was drugging her. Someone close. Her water bottle had tasted metallic days before the final race, and she was certain someone had broken into her locker. The final page read, "I saw him with the pills. I heard what he told Coach. If anything happens to me, it's because of DM. He said he could end it. He wasn't lying." Jalen stared at the page as the lights in the library flickered, then shut off. Footsteps echoed from the hallway. He dropped the journal and ran. The next day, Jalen didn't respond to messages. His phone was left on campus. The yearbook? Gone. The journal? Missing. Security footage? Erased. The only thing left was his voice memo. He sent it to this channel just before he disappeared, and soon you will hear it. So we ask again, who was DM? Some say he was a janitor. Others say he wasn't on staff at all. A drifter. A shadow that lingered after the last bell. A ghost of guilt the school tried to erase. But here's what we know. Laura didn't die alone. She wasn't the first. And now, she may not have been the last. Next week on Behind the Veil. Episode 3. The Man in the Hall. He doesn't speak. He doesn't run. But when you see him, it's already too late. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. And remember, some chapters were never meant to be read.